Sometimes on my, frankly, quite pointless YouTube channel, I air unpopular opinions, and when you do so on the internet, you put yourself at great personal risk, because the internet lynch mob can destroy your life if they put their mind to it. So I hope you appreciate the bravery in me sharing this unpopular opinion, which is that Tuvok is a better character and a better representation of Vulcans than Spock. He's the coolest Vulcan and one of my favourite characters of all time in Star Trek, Tuvok. And I think this is fairly easy to defend because Tuvok is purely Vulcan. He's not half human, half Vulcan, although you could argue that that kind of conflict helps to explore the differences. I think Tuvok's such a cool character, and he has such a cool sense of humour. It's way better than Spock's. Okay, it's similar, but his delivery is better. So, yeah, Tuvok, what a legend, and such a legend that separating him from Tuvix, and it was almost certainly the right thing to do. Tuvix was fucking annoying. What a fucking Mr. Perfect, What a Chad. Oh, don't say it. Tuvix was a Chad. Yeah, it's a tough one because you get Tuvix back. You get Tuvok back, but you also get Neelix back as well by separating them. So truly, they did create a masterful moral dilemma in the Tuvix episode of Voyager. But yeah, Tuvok, what a legend. I was a teenager watching Voyager, and I think Tuvok, it's weird as a teenager. I think we have this natural impulse to find new role models to basically replace our parents with. We start to realise the flaws and limitations of our parents, and we start to look for new parental role models to internalise. In transactional analysis, this is about reforming your inner parent. And I think this is why characters like Gandalf, Obi-Wan Kenobi, Yoda, Dumbledore are also popular, because people are basically trying to correct the accident of birth. There's an accident, the parents you get, spin the wheel. And then you're a teenager and maybe I could find wiser role models than my own parents. And for me, Tuvok was one of them, and I think it's funny how culture influences you slightly, but Tuvok, the Vulcans are kind of, in a way, a little bit like space Buddhists, aren't they? The meditation all the time, the mindfulness, the desire to kind of control mind function, as Dogen would put it. He says in Rules for Meditation, control mind function, will, memory, perception, consciousness. That Zen Buddhist sounds quite a lot like a Vulcan. So I guess the Vulcans, probably, and Tuvok was kind of a role model for me as a teenage boy, and encouraged me to explore meditation and philosophy. And there's something, I think, about his character that kind of illustrates the power of truth and the power of reason and logic, and how socially powerful that can be in influencing other people. There was some episode where he had to convince a whole village to do something, and there was this asshole that didn't want it to happen, and he was maybe we should have a public forum on this, and the guy tried to resist it, and Tuvok's do you consider your ideas to be so flimsy that they could not withstand public debate? Yeah, fuck yeah, that's persuasive, that logic, and it's true, isn't it? There's a bit of truth there. So anyway, I prefer Tuvok to Spock, and Tuvok had a much bigger influence on who I became, which is obviously probably a generational thing. But I watched the original series, and Yeah. Oh, I don't want to diss Leonard Nimoy and his coolness and Spock, because they're great, and he was a cool actor and a seemingly really good person. Um, but I have a personal preference for Tuvok and think that he is a clearer representation of what Vulcans are really like. Than really like a clearer representation of what this fictional species is really like. You know what I mean. Yeah, Tuvok rocks. Fuck the haters. Are there haters? No, but anyway, yeah, Tuvok's cool.